Hi everybody, welcome. I know we were scheduled for live in 2 minutes from now, but I just couldn't sit here any longer without connecting with you. For me, and I'm so grateful that we have Lucy here online with us. She's a wonderful moderator. She pulls us together. And you feel as though you're my brothers and sisters, my family. When I think about it. Ah. Oh, it's repeating itself. What's happened? Oh dear. I don't know what to try. I don't know how to correct this. Oh dearie, dearie, dear. Ah, Mercury Retrograde. Help! Oh my goodness. Why am I getting that playback? Hello? Can anybody help here? I really don't know what to do. I know that you're all online with me, but there's something quite wrong with the connection. If I'm quiet, it's all right, but I've got a lot I want to say to you. Press the mute key. Press the mute key. Where is the mute key, Lucy? Where's the mute key? Oh, goodness gracious. Never done this before. The mute button. Mute the speaker. Mute the speaker. All right, I'll pull the speaker. Shall I pull the speaker out? Is that better? You'll let me know, guys. Oh dear. I'm still hearing myself back. You can hear me and it's all working fine and you're not getting echo. Okay. You're telling me you can hear me. Now I'm telling you to stop talking. Well, I think I need a cuddle from Teddy. Volume button next to the time on the Windows smartphone. I'm so sorry about this, my loves. It's still peculiar. You can hear. And you don't hear that feedback. You don't hear that terrible feedback. You can hear? Okay, you're all insisting that you can hear me. I may need to turn my volume down, all right? Let's turn that down. I've turned it down. Start over. About time I got the system sorted out. You're right, Eric. Oh, it's an adventure. It doesn't feel... Lucy, yes, you better call me, love. You better call me. And it's like we've got all these beautiful people online. Do you know what? I'm going to carry on. You're telling me you can hear me. But as long as you're not getting all that awful feedback, I'll just put up with it. I don't mind. Are you getting any feedback? No feedback. And it's not bad. Okay. Sounds like a bunch of people talking together at once, and you hear the feedback. Lucy, call me, darling. I'm going to go and get the telephone. Talk about a Mercury retrograde. You see, now this is where family comes in handy. You're my family. Where's the phone? Bloody, oh dear. Excuse me. Oh dearie dear. Lucy, darling. Hello. Right.
Right. Is there another window open on Internet Explorer?
Is there a window open on Internet Explorer? Sorry, you got a picture of my bottom there. They all see my bum. Explorer. I've nothing open in Explorer.
It's just the normal. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's okay. And so, you know, in Windows, there's the volume. There's the volume next to the time. It should be on the little speaker sign.
Love, we'll get this.
Which should be there next.
The volume, yes, I've got the volume. Yes, I've been changing that around.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you muted that?
Mute it? Well, then I can't hear myself.
Just open it up.
Really? I've never muted that before. That means nobody can hear me. Well, that means nobody can hear me.
No, we can hear you, but if you mute it on your computer, then it shouldn't give the feedback through your computer.
But it's never done this before, Lucy, darling. It's never happened before. Usually I've got that on full and it's fine.
Okay. Do you want to just try it?
All right, I'll try it. All right. Thanks, darling. Lucy, thank you. Isn't Lucy marvellous? I think she's sorted it. So sorry, you guys. This is such an example of a Mercury retrograde. And thank goodness it's in Cancer.
Bye,
bye darling. Bye. Bye. Love you.
Okay.
Bye. Right. Mute the speaker. Okay. So I've muted the speaker. I've got no speaker on now. Can you hear me? And I'm going to wait a couple of minutes now, or a minute or so, because there's a delay. Can you hear me? Do not mute the speakers. Do not mute the mic. Do not mute, hang on. Mute the speakers. Yes, I've muted the speakers. Can you still hear me? And Teddy, can you? Please tell me you can. Oh dear, this feels so unprofessional. I really hate this, but I guess one has to put up with discomfort. Right, you're amazing. So lucky that you are my family. It's perfect, it's good. Oh, maybe I've been doing it wrong all this time. Maybe that sorts all the sound problems. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. I am so lucky to have you. Yes. Wow. Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you. Thank you. You see how we need each other? This is really, I suppose you've had a live example here of when we can all sort of club together, and we've got this eclipse happening. Oh yes, oh, you're all online, and it's so lovely because I can feel the energy that we have together of this encouragement, this boosting, this loving, because that's exactly what this eclipse is all about. Yes, it's when one of us is falling down, everybody else runs to help that person up again. So bless Lucy. Woo! Thank you. Teddy's very happy. So now I just need to get into a little calmer space because, well, I never knew I'd done it wrong all that time. It just shows you very often during a retrograde, you get to realise and realign and restructure things that maybe you didn't know before, and you can have a realisation. So I'm having a massive realisation that I always should have had my speakers muted, and maybe it would have been a whole lot easier for all of you. So thank you for putting up with all of this. So we've got this eclipse happening today at 0 degrees of Cancer. And 0 is a very powerful degree astrologically. 0 is an opportunity for a reset. Yes, we've got, you're resetting your glasses. You can reset. And notice people do that when something's great. Yeah, it's really good. So this 0 degrees is an opportunity for us to come together in the circle of love. Love goes in a circle. And it's never ending. It never ends. It's something that goes on and on and on. Thank you very much, Annabelle. And this is about this eclipse, because eclipse energies last for about, often a good 6 months. So we're getting an opportunity here for a reset of our global family. What do I mean by that? Well, I think we've got to begin to realise that nature is pushing us to connect. There's just no two ways about it. Coronavirus has shown us how connected we are, and that we've been living in a system of the survival of the fittest, the survival of the strongest. It's this whole Darwinism of profiting from one another, competing with one another. And in fact, what nature is now pushing us to see is that we've got to come together in this global family. And I feel so honoured and fortunate to have you. When I think of you, even when I'm having maybe some difficult moments in my day, and I think of you, my online family, I feel good. I send you love. I send you love beams. Yeah, there are sunbeams and moonbeams, but what about love beams? What about beaming that frequency of love? And as you begin to do it, I notice that I begin to feel uplifted. I was in terrible traffic from Marathona to Athens tonight to be on time for this live stream. And I just started thinking of you guys. And I started thinking of Lucy and how grateful I am that she's helping. So, thank you very much, Mariana. This is very much a time of not me, but we. This is the we. We're coming together. And the thing is, it's been set up. Thank you very much, Heather. Our system has been set up where we're in conflict a lot of the time. Political parties, the oppositions, the economists, the politicians. I mean, everywhere you look, we're in conflict with one another. So that there's not been, I feel, thank you, Lillian, not been too much of a desire for humans to come together. But now, with everything that's happening, we can see that we've got to raise our game. We've got to move to a new earth, a new world, where we really want to connect. That's the difference now. It's a bit like when you've got somebody you love. You know, you've had that feeling, have you? Have you had the feeling, yeah, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Love that. Thank you. I think it's Kerms. Sorry, I can't read that. It's very tiny writing on the stream. So this eclipse is this circle of love, of living to help one another. Of living, of making our lives now, not about what do I do, how do I make more money, how do I get the best relationship, how I do this, but how can we work together to create the kind of paradise on earth that we've always wanted. this is an awakening of our species. Yeah, it's a shift from the competition of the species, the war, the fighting. I don't know about you, but when I was a child and I found out that governments were making weapons to shoot and to kill one another, I was devastated. I was only very little, but it was devastating to learn that this was the overriding behaviour and that we needed to have bombs and tanks and guns. Well, we're moving away from that, guys. That is not the way we are moving. We are moving towards a world of nurturing, of loving one another. And to do that, we've got to change our very nature. What do I mean by that? I mean our conditioned nature. Not the innate nature, all right? Because there is an innate nature. I was just reading about it today. This was so inspiring. Thank you, Laura, very, very much. Of a man in France, an illegal immigrant, apparently, didn't have papers, who climbed 4 stories with his bare hands in less than 30 seconds to rescue a 4-year-old child who was dangling from the balcony. Can you imagine? He just didn't think about himself. It was just that human nature that just goes, whoa, I've got to help that child in danger. As it happens, it's got a beautiful ending in that Macron, the president of France, has given him citizenship for his service to mankind. What a beautiful thing. So we all have an innate nature that is loving and reaches out to one another. But there is another, I feel, conditioned nature that's been carried through the generations of feeling as though we have to fight one another, that there's not enough to go round, that we've got there's just not enough for everybody, so each one for himself. And it hasn't been now until we've seen, in the midst of a pandemic, aren't we lucky that we've got the internet, that we are able to connect as a global community? And you are my global family. And we now have to raise the conditioning of always thinking of him, complaining about this person, sending nasty vibes to another person, sending anger energy to another person. This is the conditioned energy of the human nature that I'm talking needs to change, so that we can take ourselves up a notch. We have to move up a notch. We have to desire connection with one another. You know, when you're in love with somebody, you want that person so much. You can't wait for the phone call, can you? You can't wait until you're going to see that person again. You've got butterflies. You feel wonderful when you're in love. Yeah, all your ailments go. A headache's gone immediately if your love phones. So this is now an awakening to the connection between us that's got that desire to connect with every single person, no matter what they look like. And as much as you don't like masks, and I have to say I'm not partial to them either, the advantage of the mask is that we're not looking at the externals anymore. You're not looking if somebody's got nice teeth, or whether he's got a pretty nose, or a nice face, or even the colour of the face so much. Can't see so much of it. But you're having to work harder to connect when the mask is on. You're looking for the mystery of the soul of the person underneath. And to me, that is the challenge now of connecting to the soul, to one another's souls. And this eclipse now is nature pushing us to want to connect. I want to connect with you. That's why I've talked about community. This is a beautiful community. I hope you feel that. I hope you experience that. I'm so lucky to have Lucy. We wouldn't be talking tonight. I'd be just turning off and saying, well, that didn't work properly. So, Heartlink, you are my galactic family. And every single one of us on this planet. What I was thinking of is that my old name, Barbara, I can't even relate to this name anymore, actually, even though I had it for 60 odd years of my life, means stranger, comes from the word barbarian. And now my name is Bracha, which means blessing, so I feel much better about that. But what I've been thinking about is that there are to be no more strangers on this planet Earth. How can there be a stranger when we're all one family? All part of the same family. Isn't that beautiful? So what I think that needs to happen, or at least let me say what I'm seeing in myself. I think if I can tell you what I'm seeing in myself, then maybe that will help you to maybe share things about what's going on with you. So to me, the eclipse is about creating an ocean of love, waves of love, love waves, love beams, love waves. Let's think of all the words that we can create using the word love, using the word family, where everybody matters, and I mean everybody. So what I'm doing now is I'm consciously sending thoughts of love. First of all, to people I know that I do love, that I have a warm feeling about. And I send thoughts of love, for example, to Lucy, to Balolas, who helps me on Instagram. She does a terrific job there. Thank you very much, Teresa. And I go through all the people in my life every morning, several times, and I'm sending them love. I'm sending them a love wave. And I do that with my clients. And I do that with my prayer list for the people who are suffering that I know about. And I do that with you. And this love somehow expands out. And I think we've got to build the love muscle. Just as we build other muscles, we've got to train ourselves away from the competing muscle. I notice it even in the car tonight. As soon as things opened up, everybody started rushing forwards. And I felt myself like, okay, I can overtake that one, I can rush, I can pass. I thought, no, this is just part of that competition, that very yang, masculine energy. And with all the earth and water planets going on, I feel that the female energy is to come through for the next 4 to 5 years, strongly to lead the Mother Nature, Mother Earth, Cancerian, towards the connectedness. A mother can't bear to lose her children. I didn't have the blessing to have my own children this lifetime. But I've adopted many others. And for me, now you are my family, you're my children, you're my brothers and sisters, depending on age, yes. But there's that connectedness, that deep bond that is unbreakable, where your needs matter to me. And as we do this, I feel that this is the healing that we've been looking for, the healing on our planet. So I'm going to ask you, and this is what I do now, how many positive, loving messages can I leave? Could I send a loving email to Irini? Could I send just a little positive text to Anastasia? Yeah, little tiny things, but you set in motion a different frequency. And as people begin to feel more loved and more appreciated and more recognized, they want to do more. They love you. You won't be looking for just this one person to fulfill all your emotional needs. Imagine if there's thousands of us. Thank you, Jenna. And so now we have a big mission at hand. We really do. This is a very, very exciting and powerful time to be alive. If you can get yourself on this higher frequency. If you get lost in the fighting energy, then it's difficult. Yeah, you're going to get pulled down. But if you can get into this frequency of love connection and of practicing it, yeah, going against that instinct which is to be combative. I had it this morning. I got an email from my health insurance company. They want more information. This, and this. And they've had it twice. And I felt this kind of like combative energy come up. Bloody hell. Yeah, this. And then I thought, hey, wait a minute. If I've got to walk this talk, if I'm going to get into this me, and they're not listening to me energy, I'm perpetuating the old paradigm. So I thought to myself, you know what? The person that's going to read that email is a person just like me, just like you. Yeah, there's something gone a little wrong here, but I can still send that email with an energy of kindness rather than pissed offness, because that frequency goes out into the world. And it sure does change how I feel. So, and again, I think it's just this having more patience, having more practicing it. Because I can honestly tell you for myself, I've practiced the other for a very bloody long time. And so, somebody didn't get my new name the other day. She kept calling me Barbara. A lot of times in an email when I'm signing off and saying, it's Bracha. And then I got Brancha, and I got all kinds of variations. And I thought, okay, just be patient. Just drop it. This is a beautiful soul, and she's a beautiful soul, this Sophia. So notice when you're getting into that energy. And see if every stranger, you see, I think we need to eradicate the word stranger from our vocabulary. Who agrees with that? Because the minute you say stranger, it's like, whoa. Somebody separate, somebody who's not part of my species. Just things to think about. I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are here. But I can tell you, I begin to feel very different as I begin to think before sending any email. Is this loving? Is it kind? Is it compassionate? If it was my brother or my sister or somebody very dear to me, would I write it in this way or would I change it? So I think it's important to revel in each other's successes. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. And this, I have to say, is something I do, not something I have to train that much. The combative thing, yes, I've got to deal with that one. It's like, oh, they gave me the wrong change, they did this, the bank did that. But my friend found a place to live, and she loves it, and I'm so happy. Seraphim, my beautiful osteopath, he just had a baby boy. Beautiful, I'm so thrilled for him. Likurgo, a son of another friend of a friend, he just got great results in his exams. I'm so happy for him. So that till you make it. Because it's another thing that builds upon this circle of love. We want to create an explosion of love on our planet Earth. That's what we wanted to do. We want it to explode like fireworks everywhere. Pew, pew, yeah. Everywhere. Can you imagine what a difference this makes? And just know that your thoughts, the North Node in Gemini at 29 degrees, conjunct this eclipse at 0 degrees of Cancer, is asking us to work with our mental state, to work with our thoughts. Thank you, Victoria, because your thoughts go more quickly and manifest more quickly, have got much more power than actually necessarily the things that you are doing. So we've got a lot more power in the net of what we do with our thoughts and our connectedness and our community. We can have a great deal of effect. It's been proved that people meditating, sending out love waves. I so admire the work of Greg Braden, of the Heart Math Institute, of Lynn McTaggart. There are so many here, Joe Dispenza, who are working with these frequencies and bringing about miraculous healings. Somebody who was paralyzed suddenly gets up and walks after 10 minutes of one of these healing intention experiments. So we've got an opportunity here to, through shifting our thoughts and doing it together, there's power in numbers, but also doing it in your own life. Yeah, I think it's got to be that we do it individually. And I'm doing my best every day to notice where I need to build muscle. Thank you, Erin, very much. And I was reading, Neil Donald Walsh. Thank you, Joanna, very much. His latest book called Awaken the Species. It's funny, I've had it for a while. He wrote it in 2017. And it just jumped out of my bookshelf at me. I love books. I love physical books. And I started to read it. And he has a summary of what an awakened species does and does not do. And I've lost that list in the lovely Mercury Retrograde panic, but that's all right. Luckily, we are learning to be more patient with one another. We're all family. And just to know that we're in one another's presence. To breathe in that I'm safe. You're safe. We're making this earth a safe place to live. That is our next step as humanity with this 0 degree eclipse. We can reset our intention to make this world a safe place now for us to live in. So a few of the things that Neil Donald Walsh mentions is that an awakened human being sees unity everywhere. No separation. That we're all one. Thank you, Tobiah, very much. We're all together. Yes, Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Supernatural. Beautiful. Another amazing book. There's a lot of wonderful books out there. The awakened human is truthful. Doesn't tell lies. Doesn't need to skirt round things and cheat. The awakened human does what he or she says she's going to do. With Uranus in Taurus, I got thinking, this is a shake-up of values. Thank you very much, Shannon. Thank you. A shake-up of what's important. And it's time for us to realize that there is no lack upon our planet Earth. We've been brought up in the context, as I say, of the conditioning that we had to believe that there's lack, there's not enough to go round, to believe that we own things, rather than stewardship. You take care of something for a while, but you never actually own it as if it's mine. Yeah, it's different. That the advanced human finds a balance between technology and metaphysics, the cosmos, science and spirituality, that there's a balance between the two. The advanced human would never kill another sentient being. Never. See how we've got to really take this up, yeah? I mean, we're talking about no wars, no nuclear weapons, no missiles, yeah? Whew. It's a big shift. But isn't it where you want to be? Isn't that your desire, your deepest desire? It's certainly mine. My deepest desire is to live on a planet where we're connected, where we work together. Because there is enough, we can feed, clothe, house every single person on this planet if we really want to. We've got the infrastructure now for free education, everybody now to get education. It's levelling it out. This is the Aquarian age, community. So we've got so much potential, but we must want to be connected. If we have this deep desire, thank you, Tooth Girl, thank you. I think that we are pushing these boundaries. I think that we're going to not have to compete with one another, not have to fight one another, and to see that we can relax, because how can you relax in a world of dog eat dog, of profiting from each other and not sharing everything? How can you deeply relax? Deeply. You can't. So now this is the opportunity for the greatest healing ever to take place. It's an opportunity for us to not harm our environment. An advanced human being would not harm its environment that it lives in. Yeah? An advanced human being is going to go beyond the confines of space and time. The Pleiadians have already told me that we can go beyond space and time. Science is already showing that that is possible. But I don't believe we're going to be able to do it until we begin to come together. There is no place like home, that's right. And we have to make this home. This is what this solar eclipse at 0 degrees of Cancer is about. Making this our true home. Treasuring it. Cleaning it up. You don't want to go into a dirty home, do you? You go in a house and it stinks of garbage and trash everywhere. That's what we've been doing. Cutting up the earth. Slaughtering the animals. Slaughtering one another. Which advanced species goes around violently slaughtering one another? So these are all things that I've been thinking about, meditating about. I'm going to suggest that you do the same if it resonates with you. Does it resonate with you, my loves? Does it? So I think that science admits there are other dimensions. Yeah. So, and I think that the advanced human being has unconditional love for everybody and everything. There's no conditions attached. Everything's been so conditional. And that everybody matters. So how can we be peaceful on this planet Earth? We've got to stop fighting one another. This Mars in Aries from the 28th of this month for 26 weeks gives us an opportunity to rein in that fighting energy where we're going to bash one another and riot and loot. Innocent people got looted here. I'm not saying one's right or wrong here. We're not getting into right or wrong. It's just that we have to take ourselves up a notch and clean things up. And as we do this, we can create the best home. Isn't our planet beautiful? Guys, isn't our planet, I mean, the sky, the seas, the flowers, the trees, the animals. Such a beautiful planet that we have. If we make this home and we stop fighting one another, we stop behaving like unruly teenagers, we put away our weapons of mass destruction, that we stop showing war films and we stop allowing our youngsters to play computer games that are all about war and killing and guns and shooting, and then wondering why they're going off and shooting when they get to college. Gosh, I realise this is probably very controversial, and I'm not sorry, and I'm just aware that I may be triggering things. On the lower frequencies, there may be a lot of triggers. But if you've got to carry guns to protect yourself against your fellow human beings, and we can't go above that and create a different frequency, then we're not very awakened, are we? And I speak for myself. Hey, look, I'm in this with you. I ain't perfect. I'm learning here, and I want to push those boundaries. And the astrology is showing us that when you get this 0 degree, you get this tremendous opportunity for creating something new. So can we come together here with a clear intention that we want to create a safe world, kind world, a caring world, a world where people get to do what they love, where the world has meaning. And what I'm seeing is that we're going to have to come together in these various teams. Because I've been looking at community, and as I mentioned, I want to be in community. This is my community for sure. Beautiful, nourishing, feeding community. I feel fed by this. I hope you do. But I think that we are now in a place of thinking, what's my mission here now? What's your mission? What are you here to do? There's various areas that need cleaning up on our planet. Maybe you're one of the ones who wants to work on the Earth team. Maybe you are passionate about Mother Earth. And you want to start cleaning up the planet and working with the environment, coming up with new solutions, technological and cosmological, to resolve some of the problems that we're facing and clean them up. So that's one very big team. Maybe you want to be on the team that ends world hunger. Puts together plans where everything is organised so that things are not going to waste, that we regenerate our soils with all the minerals and all the goodness in our earth, and that the world is fed. That's Cancer. This is Cancer. This is the earth. This is Cancer energy. Who wants to be on the housing team, the construction team, making sure everybody's going to get housed? Who wants to be on the medical team, working with health and well-being and frequencies and energy medicine? Woo! Who wants to be on the educational team, teaching youngsters, inspiring people generally? Yeah. Which team do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the creative team? The musicians, the artists, the dancers, the photographers, the filmmakers. But again, it's got to be with a different intention, the intention of inclusivity. And there will be no need for forgiveness, because in a world where we are awakened, somebody makes a mistake, then we have an understanding for the person of what went wrong. Not that we've got to forgive them, they did something wrong. It's very different, very different. So you want to be on the healing team, Erin. Beautiful. There's all these different teams. And we've got a mission to complete. And when you've got a big mission, you are not worried about yourself. You're not worrying, am I depressed? Am I this? You're not taking your temperature all the time. Notice this COVID, taking your temperature all the time. Am I a bit hot? Am I a bit cold? Am I a bit off? Am I a bit this? When you've got a mission here, which is to create a world family where everybody has access to basic needs, food, water, electricity, power, clothing, education, housing. And we're working together. We're working together. The book of humanity is the same book. And we're each contributing chapters to that new book of humanity. That's how I'm seeing it. I'm in the process. I had an inspiration to write a new book for astrology. Astrology for the awakened soul. I've just started it, but this was what I've been instructed to do. Because the astrology's got to change. Yeah. The astrology has been based on a different paradigm. We've got to take that up a notch. Everything's got to go up a notch. Yeah. That's what we're being asked to do. The other day there was a mouse, obviously, poor thing, I think it had got run over. But it was just sitting on the side of the road. This was in the countryside. It was just quietly sitting, and I thought it might be dying. I thought, no, I've got to try, and I had a little bit of dog food with me. I just put down a little bit of dog food in front of him. Well, within a second, he picked up the dog food and scuttled off into the bushes. So it's always a good idea to have a little bit of food on you wherever you go. Cancer is about feeding. Food. Yes, you can be on all the teams. Why not? Some will need to be. Some will want to be more focused. Yeah. So love really is the way. And as we move on to this love frequency, there is nothing we cannot accomplish. Really nothing. We're going to be amazed at the potential that is untapped. We've been living this small, tense, tight, stressed life, largely. And we're changing it. We're changing it. I was inspired by dear Auntie Jenny again. She's 98 and she inspires me so much. She dresses up every day. She said, I put a skirt on and a nice top. She said, nobody sees me. She said, but I feel better if I do that. And I asked her because, she was in her 90s when she took care of Nat, her dear husband, who she'd been with for 70 odd years. And she took care of him through Alzheimer's, through the very late stages, and she was his only carer. He wouldn't go anywhere else, and it was like she took care of him day and night, even those last 9-10 months that were horrendous. And she was listening to other people on the television, putting them in homes and getting rid, can't cope with it, it's too much, it's too difficult. And she said, I felt quite proud of myself, she said, because I did it and I was there with him right until the very end. I said to her, how did you do that, Jenny? And she said, it's called LOVE. And it was my pleasure and my joy to do it. And that really inspired me once again. So imagine what we can do now that we are moving to this incredible moment in our human evolution, which is dropping an old skin and starting and realizing consciously, spreading love consciously. I feel this is the way that we are to be moving forward now. I had thought to do a meditation. I don't know if you'd like a meditation. It's not something I've ever done before, and certainly not something I've done online. But I'd be willing to feel my way into it if that's something that you would like. So I'll wait for a response here. And if not, then I'll do some toning with the Pleiadians instead. Just to somehow bring us into that beautiful alignment. Yep, love is the ultimate connection. And when you're in love, and you're in love with humanity, and you're in love with life, you're living on a constant high, a constant, shall we say, an orgasm of your being. Thank you very much, Saraj. So I just want to say thank you to so many of you. To me, you're all generous. I want to say thank you to all of you, to those who donate online while I'm here on the live chat, to dear Lucy, who's helping here. She's marvellous and she's helping me with other things as well, so I'm very, very, very lucky. Okay, you'd like a meditation. Okay. It's a big stretch for me, but all right, I will do that. Okay. Both, all right, the meditation and the toning. Whew. Okay. Don't have any music to go with it, so I hope you can, yeah, you want the meditation. All right, do I have any gongs? I don't. I have no singing bowls. What could I use instead? I've got the theremin, but I think I can't play it well enough to use it. Okay, so everybody seems to be, you are saying yes, you'd like it. All right, thank you. So I'll try. This is a stretch. It's not something, as I say, I've ever done before. So if you can just focus upon your heart. Or maybe thank your heart for beating, for carrying on beating. No matter what, it still goes. Just give it a really big thank you for doing such a wonderful job of keeping you alive. And then begin to smile at your heart. Smile at it. You might want to put your hand on your heart, or even both hands on your heart right now. Just smile at your heart. Smile at the heart energy. Smile at all that love you want to give and you want to receive. Beautiful. And just breathe into your heart. Breathe in that love. Feel your entire body being washed with the frequency of love. Just bathed in unconditional love. And you feel yourself relax, knowing that you are safe, knowing that your heart is loving you enough to keep beating, and that your heart is connected to every other heart on this planet. Each heart is connected. And if we can imagine ourselves now, all connected, every heart is beating together, in unison, calmly, a calm, steady heartbeat. That each heart is smiling at another heart. My heart is smiling at your heart. And with that, your body begins to relax. Your mind begins to relax. Your muscles begin to relax. All tension seeps away. Beautiful. And begin to send now some of that heart love to Mother Earth, because she has a very, 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 very big heart. And she could do with a bit of our love right now. So you could send some love to the trees, to the birds, to the flowers, and let's send some love to our dear brothers and sisters, all the animals. You could begin to bring up an image of an animal that you love. Might be your personal pet, or just an animal that you like that comes into your mind's eye now. Just send that animal waves of love. Beautiful. And now feel yourself once again connecting right the way around the world. Imagine the earth. Imagine the circularity of it. And that you are holding hands with every single being upon this planet Earth. You welcome and you invite each one into your heart. Your heart is big enough to encompass everybody's heart. We're opening the door to a new world. A world where love is the juice behind everything. And as we juice up our love, and you begin to feel it everywhere, you can feel that your love is emanating further and further and further. And you even go beyond our planet Earth. You go into our solar system and into further galaxies and universes. And you open yourself and you realize that your heart and your love is infinite and goes further than you could ever imagine. And now once again, smile at your heart. Thank everybody else's hearts for joining you here upon this journey. And know that you are now creating a new world. And you matter in this world. Your love matters. Your heart matters. And together, we're creating the best home in the entire universe. And slowly, when you are ready, if you are still here with me, I don't know if you are, you may wish to come back. Thank you. Thank you very much for being open to having a meditation from a complete novice. I appreciate you trusting me and opening your hearts. Thank you. Thank you. Whew. Very powerful when we come together to do something like this. It really does resonate far and wide. Thank you very much for just being with me, for being together, and for being willing to create this new world. It is possible. It is at our fingertips. We can smell it, we can taste it, we can touch it. I'm so grateful for you. So, so grateful. And we don't have to be in one another's physical presence anymore to be able to have a huge impact on one another. I think in the old paradigm we had to be very physically together. But now as we move to the new paradigm, I think this is just as powerful, if not more powerful, because so many of us can come together in this way and change. So I don't know about you, I want to live in this world of peacefulness, of harmony, of love. And we've got a lot of work to do. So whose team are you on? We talked about teams. I might go into that in a little more detail, especially as we're building up to this lunar eclipse on the 5th of July in Capricorn. So Capricorn will be a good time for being very practical. So I just want to thank Lucy so much. She's done a terrific job at bringing this community together. She's done a huge amount online. She's there for hours in advance before I'm going live, keeping you nice and warm. And I just want to thank you for this, and I'm open to suggestions. For me, we're doing this together. I planned this to a degree, but I have to say that most of what comes up is largely unplanned. So thank you for smiling in your hearts today. I'm sending you much heartfelt love, and I hope to see you again soon. From my heart to yours. Much love.